Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is great to be with you again. It is Friday, in case you guys didn't know that. It's Friday, it's May 10th, and 2024. Great to be with you. Whether you're here with me at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., doesn't really matter. I just want to thank you so much for being here with me and sharing in on all this great stuff that I am presenting for you. So thank you very, very much. I know that every day that I do this, it helps to make hopefully your life just a little bit better. All right, guys. So thanks so much for being here. We'll get into the master topic in just a second. I know you guys know what it is. It's for the whole week. Today is the day we end the master topic, by the way, in case you guys did not know that. First things first, our master topic, which started last Saturday, is Life is Like a Stained Glass Window, Series 3, Show 19. And stained glass has some amazing properties, not just how it's made, but its characteristics of everyday usage is pretty fascinating, if you ask me. So the actual topic for tonight, the granular topic, is Radiant Reflections, Illuminating Life's Colors, Series 3, Show 19, Episode number 7. Episode number 7. Pretty cool, right? And, when you first think about stained glass windows, okay, it's quite amazing. I mean, really, really amazing. It's like being able to see like a whole new world, okay? And seeing that new world, I think, can make such a huge, huge difference. I mean, sometimes you just didn't know it was possible. But then when you start to see, oh, wow, this really does work, you start to say, wow, I didn't know this. And you might be saying to me, hey, John, what is it that makes stained glass so amazing? Well, I think what makes it so amazing is the fact that it's different, that it's dynamic, right? So stained glass, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is it's an invitation. So what is an invitation? I think if we go to our friends, Merriam-Webster, and we look up what an invitation is, we're going to see something pretty amazing. Invitation, according to Merriam-Webster, is a noun, the act of inviting in an often formal request to be present or participate, called an invitation. Maybe you send invitations out to a party, etc. So stained glass as an invitation to open up. And you might be saying, John, how does that happen? How does that happen? How does that happen? Well, it happens because it kind of gets us to be in a different place. And when we talk about a different place, I think the biggest thing that probably comes to our mind is the fact that we're transported. Okay? We are transported. And if that's the case, then maybe we can just learn a little bit more. Maybe. But a lot of times people get frustrated because, they expect everything now. So stained glass is an invitation to open up, to explore what lies beyond. Now, I'm talking as a metaphor for breaking barriers and allowing light to serve as a beacon into our lives. And when that happens, we can become an emulation and be part of transparency and a vibrancy into not only interacting with ourselves, but interacting with others. People often have said that in order to be successful, in order to, get a lot of people to like you, you have to find out how to like yourself. You have to find out how your world works. That's a big key, ladies and gentlemen. And you can do that in silence. You can do that in a lot of different ways. But how is it that it actually works? How does it work? It happens by knowing that there's information to come to us, information that maybe we were not aware of or expecting to arrive. You see, that's the best kind of information when we are open to receiving, for then more shall be delivered to us. That's like, I don't know about you, but that's like really, really amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, like really amazing. And so thinking about this for just a minute could be a huge, huge potential. A huge potential. And that huge potential would allow us to see the world a different way, would allow us to get new insights, would allow us to know and see the symbol of light as it opens up our mind, opens up our heart. And in doing so, it causes us to open up to others. So before we can open up to others, we have to open up to ourselves. We have to love ourselves. We have to appreciate the intricacies that we have. Sometimes they can be very challenging, guys. You're probably saying how and why. It can be. And it's because people get crazy about wanting everything now. Okay? They want it now because they feel that if they don't have it now, then it's never going to work for them. But they want it now. And if we embrace that spirit, just like the spirit of stained glass, we can see that the mysticism is in our curiosity to appreciate its beauty and allure. It then serves, as I said, as an invitation for us to probe gently deeper into ourselves. And when that happens, we're able to make new connections. We're able to see things differently, but we're able to do things in a way that didn't seem possible. what I want to almost say is we're able to do what seems impossible because we're not operating on a level of mind that most people do. We're operating on a higher level of mind. Now, everyone has this potential, but most people don't bother to utilize it. It's a tool, so you have to learn how to use it. Stained glass allows us to reflecting ourselves through stained glass. You know, the reflection can happen because of the way it works, right? But you know what? Something else is neat when we think about reflecting. There are different kinds of cuts, like the way you cut glass. And so with stained glass, you can cut things basically one level. You can go deeper and then you can go really deep. Okay. So you can try to make a big change and cut the entire piece at once. But oftentimes that causes us to lose everything. When we make inside cuts, when we choose to get rid of things inside, internally, like the beliefs, just like glass, when we cut from the inside instead of the outside, it has more potential to become something great. So approach change like stained glass. Okay. The alternative is to approach, your dreams like a stained glass artist. He or she creates a story through glass and colors and all kinds of different patterns. So I know you're probably saying, well, John, being a stained glass person is a lot of hard work. Yes, it is. And it might not seem sexy. But the truth of the matter is, when we work on things slowly, when we focus on them, and we make small, minor changes in our life consistently, the rest of us changes. When we try to change too drastically, we wind up quitting and losing everything we started for. Maybe you're going to try to lose weight. And when you try to lose weight too fast, what happens? You just want to go back and gain it back because you're so hungry. But if you make little tiny changes in your life, then I think life can be, as I say, amazing to you. Life can be really amazing. So the last thing I want to talk about here tonight, I think it's a very important one. So we know what this stands for. The last thing I think that's very important to think about is how do we find how do we actually find? This is probably the hardest thing that I can tell you is that reflecting ourselves through stained glass, but then how do we actually find? Okay. How do we find our happiness? Happiness, people look for externally, and there's nothing wrong with material things like that. But the true beauty is found from within us. When we find true beauty, the world on the outside starts to open up for us, almost like a hidden secret passageway or trap door. Does that seem interesting? I think what I like most about stained glass is the fact that you don't see it everywhere. And when I know in my presence, I have like a respect for it. I have an appreciation. I have a curiosity. And I also have this willingness to become part of the story that the glassmaker has decided to create. You know, we could do stories in poems, we can do stories in books, we can do stories in movies and social media, right? But we can do stories in just about anything. We can do stories in painting. We can do stories in stained glass. And that's exactly what they did many, many, many years ago. And the church actually believed that this was quite amazing because it had an energy of reverence to it. And with that energy, they decided that they were going to move forward. And it caused people to come back to the church. It caused people to want to pray. It caused people to go within themselves, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. And it was just a gentle nudging to embrace who you are. I picked stained glass this week because I think it gives just a very good metaphor and story into how we are, how delicate we are as humans, and how stained glass is delicate. If we make cuts on the inner, very close to the inner of the glass, we can do them more precisely, right? And eventually those cuts can become part of the outer glass. But if we just go to the outer, we can damage the glass if we're not careful. Same thing happens in our life. Let's make the inner cuts first. Let's cut things out inside our life, internally. And then things on the outside change. So people say to me, John, I want to be a multimillionaire. Fine. Become the multimillionaire inside you, inside your body, inside your mind. Believe that's who you are, and you'll start to see your world changing day by day by day. Now you might say, well, John, I did this for a week. I did this for a month. I don't care. Keep doing it. And when you resonate with the energy, then it starts to happen. You see, even if you said you did it for a week or you did it for 6 months, I'm going to tell you really didn't do it. You weren't embracing the energy. When you start to embrace the energy, things happen. People come to you. Opportunities pop up. And you know what's best about this? It happens so effortlessly. But when people say to me, John, it's not working, first thing I say to them is give it more time, but also you're not in alignment. How do you get in alignment? Through passion, through meditation, through a deep purpose. And this will allow our energy to mesh with others or with the universes so that we can become that deliberate co-creator. Anything we ever want or wanted is here. We just need to figure out how to access that energy, how to be in alignment with what we want. So many people I see, they're looking for this car, or they're looking for something, or they're looking for a certain relationship. They're looking outside for it, but they need to look inside them. And when they look inside them, the inside matches, and guess what it does? It causes a magnetic effect and pulls that thing or that person toward them, almost like magic. I'll give you a quick story. So there was a firm I wanted to work with for a long time. And suddenly I got an appointment with this firm. And after the appointment, I wasn't sure how it went. But then in my social interactions and other meetings that I do, I connected with the owner of the firm, who told me that they knew I met with a certain person in their office and that they were more concerned about it just from what I heard from them. So I could have tried to impress and say, hey, gee, I met with such and such and where are we going? I didn't try anything. I just allowed that person to come to me. And they did. So allowing is one of the big things I think that's amazing with stained glass. It allows us to it allows us to be a person that is driven on passion and purpose. That's a mouthful. So the next time you're in front of stained glass, appreciate its beauty. Appreciate the light. Because the thing I love about stained glass is not only is it's beautiful, but depending on what time of day you go to see it, it's always going to have a different vibe, a different story that could be told. That's just really amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic Friday evening. I hope you've enjoyed the journey of life. It's like a stained glass window. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's specific episode where we talked about radiant reflections, illuminating life's colors, embracing the vision, and knowing that all you have to do to be a deliberate creator is to will it happening in your mind and let it go. And you'll start to see that the pieces of the stained glass window, the pieces of the puzzle of your life will start to come together. All right, guys, have yourself a fantastic rest of your night, rest of your morning, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with a brand new master topic. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.